And without God leading and directing my life will end up in shipwreck. But how many will be honest this morning and say, Brother Patrick, I've gotten to the place that all I want is the approval of God. I don't need the approval of men. I don't have to have people liking me. I don't have to have them patting me on my back. I like you and I love you. But you ain't got to be in my corner all the time. Because if God be for me, it does not matter how the deck is stacked against me. If God is on my life, if I got the favor of God, if I got the approval of God, if I've got the green light from God, eventually I'm going to walk in that place that God has ordained for me. Touch somebody and tell them, neighbor, I got the favor of God. And since I got God's favor, that's the green light for me to keep on doing what I'm doing. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to approve of it. But if God be for us, who then can be against us? Will you clap your hands and give God a praise in this place? So now, what I figured out in my 37 years, I figured out that one thing I need above all else, Brother Gregory, I need the favor of God. Look at somebody and tell a neighbor, you need God's favor. Can I park here for a few minutes here? You need God's favor. Because you know, favor can do things for you that your good name couldn't do for itself. Favor can get you in doors that were closed in your face. Is there anybody here that can testify that says where I am is simply because of God's favor? I shouldn't be in the neighborhood I'm living in. Oh God, I shouldn't be driving the kind of car I'm driving. I shouldn't be making the kind of money that I'm making. And it has nothing to do with my pedigree. Because some of us can testify. I come from a poor family. We didn't have much. But tell somebody the Lord's been good to me. Y'all got to help me preach here this morning. Shake somebody's hand like you're going to shake it off. And tell them, neighbor, how does it feel to shake hands with a miracle? I feel like church in here this morning. Shake somebody else's hand and ask them, neighbor, how does it feel to shake hands with a miracle? Now tell them, every time you look at me, you're looking at a miracle. You're looking at a miracle. We used to eat jelly sandwiches, and that was the main entree. But he promised me if I delighted myself also in the Lord, he would give me the desire of my heart. You've got to learn that we overcame them by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of your testimony. Stop being ashamed of what you went through. Stop being ashamed of where you came from. The simple fact that you're sitting up in the house of God on a Sunday morning, lifting clean hands before a clean God, is a fact that favor is over my life. The fact that I ain't lost my mind is the fact that I got favor that was over my life. I could have went crazy. I could have went cuckoo. But he gave me one more chance to give him a praise. He gave me one more chance to lift my hands. He gave me one more chance to tell him, Lord, I thank you for favor. Slap three people a high five and tell them, neighbor, I've got favor, but it ain't in my pocketbook. I got favor, but it ain't in my bank account. I got favor, and it's not in my last name. I got favor, and it ain't got to do with my Social Security. But I got favor, and it's over my life. God, he's been too good to me. I shouldn't have been here. I should have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But God said, live on. Touch somebody and tell them, neighbor, I should have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But he made no death. Stand back and behave. He wouldn't let me die. because I still got purpose. He wouldn't let me die. I still got a work to do. He wouldn't let me die. I still got more preaching to do. He wouldn't let you die. Say yes. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yes. Yes. Yeah, sit down a few minutes. I didn't tell y'all to get up. Sit down a few minutes. So what we got to do, my brothers and sisters, we got to understand what Moses is. Moses now is standing. He's standing on the edge of the promised land. But Moses understood if we're going to be successful. Oh, wait a minute. Can I say this here? We can get into the promised land, but when you get into that land, and when you start living in houses you didn't build, when you start eating out of vineyards that you didn't plant, when you start counting money that you didn't work for, God said, don't forget me. Oh, can I preach it this morning? Slap somebody, high five, and tell a neighbor, I can't forget what is done for me. Look at somebody and tell them, neighbor, let's go to have church. I can't forget what he's done for me. Some of us sitting up in the house of God, we already got our clothes ready for next week. But don't you remember a few years ago, you didn't have the self-esteem of an old used rag doll, but you came to the house of God and you heard a man of God look at you and tell you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Some of you didn't have the self-esteem of an old church rat, but now look at you come into the house of God and you realize that you're a royal priesthood, you're a holy nation, you're a peculiar people. Look at somebody and tell them, neighbor, I'm so glad that I heard the word. Look at y'all when he's testifying. I said, look at somebody else. Find that person that want to have some church and tell them, neighbor, I'm so glad that I heard the word, because when I heard the word, it told me I could be the head and not the tail. I heard the word and it told me no weapon formed against me shall prosper. When I thought I was going down, I heard the word say, in all of these things you are more than a conqueror. And I came to tell the people tonight, God said, when you get to that land, don't forget me. It is me that have made you and not you yourselves. You are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Slap somebody a high five and tell them, neighbor, you are what you are because God made you. Don't you sit there and rob God of his glory. It ain't nothing special about you. Your mama was a crackhead. Your daddy was a crackhead. Your grandma was the dealer. But God looked down that bloodline and said, I'm going past every generational curse. I'm going past every soul tie. I'm going past the plot of the enemy. And I'm choosing you to be my people. And if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, I'll heal the land. I'll heal those that are sick. Slap somebody a high five and tell them, neighbor, get ready. Get ready. We're going over into the promised land. I might as well go on and preach. I was sitting in my seat just a few seconds ago, and God told me to tell you I'm getting ready to park my